to the Three Teachers Podcast.
Woo! We are so excited to be doing this podcast. You have no idea. We'll introduce ourselves in a second, but just to keep with the teaching theme, our agenda for today is we're going to do a little bit of a warm-up. We'll hear who we are and a little bit about us. We'll get into breakout groups discussing this week's episode of New Jersey Housewives. We will talk about our rising star and who needs a break, and then we'll do a little exit ticket. Thanks.
Now meet the dream team.
Woo! All right, so I'm Brenda. I am a teacher and a mom of a fur baby named Chance. I enjoy puzzles and love everything that has to do with Bravo.
Yay! I am Karen. I'm living the boy life. That means I'm married to a boy. I have a son, and my dog is also a boy. Mm-hmm. I enjoy playing Candy Crush, and anybody who knows me knows Little House on the Prairie is my favorite show ever.
And I am Meg. I am a teacher. I am a bunny mom. It's a full-time job. I enjoy playing chess, and I love listening to Mr. Ballin podcasts in my free time.
We're going to have to try one of those Mr. Ballin podcasts. It was one of our future podcasts.
Yes, I think so too.
So for the warm-up today, a little bit about why we're doing this. So we work together and we love each other, and we've had such a great time hanging out over the last, what do you think, year and a half since COVID really happened.
2 years now.
Yeah. We've gotten really close, and in the course of our friendship, we like to talk about things that we watch. Yes. And one of the things that Karen and I have been watching forever are the Housewives on Bravo. And we decided to give Meg a little bit of an idea of what she could watch on Bravo as well. And thus became our idea for our podcast. That's our dog barking in the background, by the way. We are a full family show over here. And one other thing is I recently went to a psychic, and she told me I needed to get a hobby and be a little bit more creative. And one day we were walking after school and we decided, hey, why not try a little housewife podcast? And so here
Brilliant
we are.
idea.
Yes.
Fun.
To recap last week's events,
Yes.
Frank moved back in.
Oh.
Into the house.
Into Dolores' house. Teresa moved in with Louie.
Which I liked that part.
That was really nice to see.
Yeah.
I really thought that the stone for her grandmother was sweet.
Karen's not agreeing. Okay.
Teresa demanded the master bedroom when she got to Nashville.
Never done that in my life. Not that type of person.
Me neither.
I don't know.
Me neither.
Okay.
Melissa didn't know where Nashville was.
Okay, Melissa.
Oh.
And then there was that huge fight at the restaurant.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
The bull riding restaurant.
The bull riding restaurant.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
So they kind of left us hanging for this episode.
And security escorted.
Did.
Mm-hmm.
Took her out.
Mm-hmm.
Took Teresa right out.
Mm-hmm.
And we're kind of left at a crossroads of Dolores. Really?
Yeah.
You know.
When
Didn't seem like it had to be a hard choice.
No. All right, so we are going to start this week's episode, and we will start our breakout rooms once we get to what's going on in the episode.
Yes, 20 minutes.
All right.
Yes.
So vacation. They're on vacation.
Yes, they are.
In Nashville. Obviously, they have their outfits, they're packing, whatever. But let's talk about what it's like to be real people on vacation.
Right. Because I know I didn't wake up and want egg whites on my vacation.
No, I think vacation's a place to eat
whatever you want.
Yeah.
Not go crazy, but go a little crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the fact that they're egg whites, I'll have fruit salads, not gonna happen.
Low fat bread.
Right, yeah. I'm thinking about the size waffle I would want with some whipped
Right.
cream on it.
Exactly. So that aside, clearly made for TV breakfast.
Yes.
We were talking a little bit off camera about sleeping on vacation.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I feel guilty if I sleep in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike Frank.
With
other people, I feel that way.
Yes. I do.
If it's just Bob and I, okay, whatever. But if there's other people, I'm like, oh my God, I have to go around their schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Is how I feel.
Mm-hmm. I feel that way as well.
I just feel like I'm missing out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no matter. If I'm on a beach, I'm like, why am I sleeping until 9?
Right. When I could be out on the
sunrise.
beach.
Right.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha. Also, I don't know about you, but when I'm packing for vacation, if we're going with other people, I'm making sure I have outfits that are fine. But I'm really not packing So you were saying pink, pink velour outfits. I mean, Melissa having her bougie label pajamas.
Yes.
I mean,
I agree.
again,
I'm
understandably on
sleeping in my
TV.
polka dot pants with a t-shirt.
Yoga
Very
pants.
comfortable.
Right. Exactly. Yes, bra may or may not happen.
Yes.
True. All right, so that's our vacation observations. But getting into what the couples are saying about the previous night. What do you girls think?
Well, I liked the first thing that came out of Frank's mouth when he was talking with Dolores, because Dolores was defending Teresa, and I don't know that she's really defendable in this moment. And I agreed with Frank that his point about Marge is that she's just inquisitive, and it was within her bounds to be asking a question about someone's relationship.
She's been treated horrible by Teresa, and I just feel like, I don't know, in a lot of ways, she's taken it better than many people I know could have after
several months of bashing.
Yeah,
like she's
years
digging
too.
in. Yes.
I mean, we go back to the hair pulling that Teresa told Danielle. Then last year, Teresa was terrible with Jackie. We have a little sneeze attack going on. But anyways, she has not been very kind. And one thing we were all saying too is Margaret's a very intelligent person, and I think she knows, Teresa may have a really big bite, but I don't know. I think out of the two of them,
and she doesn't follow through on most of her threats.
Yeah,
I don't think.
But she knows how to cause trouble.
Yes. She's a pot stirrer.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting to see Bill and Jen Aiden talking. Because Bill is there saying, what happened to Teresa being really zen, which was it last year's tagline about her being all zen and all that?
Yes.
So it's
what happened to that?
But I think she was the most zen when she left jail.
Yeah.
For a good year.
I think you're right.
She was doing the yoga, but that went out the door.
Well, it seems to be.
Seemingly. And it's interesting because Louis seems to be the type of person who would be really into
zen?
doing, very zen and into those things. So if she's, I don't know how she's gotten from there to here now. Yes,
I can totally see what you're saying. So I don't know. And then also, just again, the whole Melissa and Joe, I feel like they have to be mediators all the time, and yet what are they really ever getting in return?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Hypocrisy from
Teresa.
Yep.
She's never going to be loyal to them and pick them over Jen.
No.
Aiden, let's be honest, or Dolores. I mean, on Watch What Happens Live, she flat out said she wouldn't even have her as a bridesmaid in her wedding. So that says something. Why is it that it's the double standard of you're my family, you pick me over everything, even if I'm wrong? And yet, I can't remember a time when she did the same to the same level.
For Melissa? Never.
Yes!
Never.
Melissa or Joe.
Yeah. No.
I mean, it's super aggravating. All right, so that's what we think of right now as far as our break group number one regarding the aftermath of the final night.
Yes.
Ooh, and then Dolores also had that comparison to, Teresa being like a kennel or a shelter dog.
From the previous marriage.
Right,
Joe.
because of her relationship with Joe. So that was an interesting take on that too, that she's kind of in this honeymoon phase, it seems to still be with Louis. So
I know, and what will happen if, you start to be disciplined with
remember
right.
when he yelled at her, or he's like, you got to train her.
Yes. How will she ever learn, I think is what he has said.
Learn if I don't?
Yes.
Yeah. Which is kind of indicative of what Joe used to do.
Yes.
He was just so we'll see where that goes.
Yes.
Absolutely. Good point, Meg. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
So we're going to start this breakout room about singing and songwriting. The first bullet, girl and guys trip observations, song thoughts, and then our final reactions. So the boys went on a boat trip, correct? And we were talking about the day drinking, how much they drink, and how much we could not hang.
We would not be able to
hang like that. No more.
No.
And then go to a nice dinner.
Yeah.
Oh,
because they're going to a dinner, right?
I
and
think
to
so.
dance.
Yes.
Yep, because they're at the line dance.
I'm good for a good 3 hours, and then it's going to be a 3-hour nap, and I'm not going to be waking up to go get dressed up, put on makeup, and go.
And it's
Absolutely
fun.
not.
Drinking's fun.
Yeah.
But once 6 p.m. hits.
It's not fun
Okay.
at all anymore at that point.
Absolutely.
I don't think.
No, but those guys go hard, and I have to say I'm like super impressed with them because they don't like
They
they
don't
don't
mess
hold
around.
back.
No.
No, they don't mess around.
No.
It's the time that Jen's husband,
Bill
had to be carried home.
Yes,
Yep,
yes,
After golf
exactly.
or something.
Yep.
That's the last time they went out on a boat, actually, which is funny because they're on a boat now. Okay, the songwriting. So here's my thoughts on the songwriting. I get why they didn't go all together, why Teresa and Dolores needed to do their own thing. But I feel like in these group moments, you really should be all together. Like, I feel like sometimes they just choose not to film with each other. And I just feel like that's a cop-out. You know what I mean? Like, you caused this scene last night. Now you get to choose whether or not you see this person. Like, I don't know how fair that is.
All right.
on
So
a
for the
vacation.
purposes of filming, I think that's true. So when they, because it's the show, they're supposed to do group things,
Right.
But in real life, if that had happened, would you really want to be around Teresa?
No, but I'm not on a reality show getting paid money.
Right.
And so I feel like when you're a person like Teresa, I mean, unless producer said, cool, you need a cooling off period, don't do something together. I do feel like she's the veteran of the show. How has she not been in similar situations, if not worse situations?
Right.
And you can't go to a singing songwriting.
Right. I feel like it's just stubbornness
come on.
and childish reactions and not being able to manage your own responses.
Yeah, which is her to a T, unfortunately.
Yeah,
when it comes
should
to
not be the case as an adult.
Yeah. So then we cut to the boat, and of course Louis saying
He was scared of Teresa.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the first time he felt scared.
Yeah.
And so here we are, you know, I mean, I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, you're supposed, I mean, I don't know, this would be scary for me as well, but what does that say about the relationship?
Right. Especially only being
And
in less than 2 years, of their relationship. I think it's about a
I
year.
think so. And now they're now committed and moving in together. So if he starts to feel this way now, he's kind of stuck.
Yeah.
Right, absolutely.
Very recently stuck too. So
Another thing I was gonna say is they're in Nashville, which is like a really big, you know, hub of music, you know, especially country music, but music in general. And I just wonder how much they must pay these producers and songwriters to come onto the show, because they're actual like. They probably work with Keith Urban.
That's true.
Taylor Swift.
Right.
Like they're gonna, and now it's like, okay, what's up today? And it's like, oh, you're gonna have the New Jersey House.
Right.
Amazing.
There may or may not be a fight.
Right.
Do they have songs now?
No, we don't
Right now.
Right. And what are we gonna write it about? Talking about each other's men.
Yes. And they're just playing a guitar, and they're like, I don't know what's been going on with you this year, but like, I'll just take whatever you're saying to me in these 30 minutes and make something up with it. And how amazing is that to do? But
So true.
I did love Jen on this trip. I thought it was so cute that she was doing the accents and trying to have fun with them. I'm glad that she was on this side of the fence this time around.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
totally agree. I wrote that down too. I was like so proud of her that she came on the song, you know, trip versus just taking the easy way out and going with Teresa and Dolores.
Yeah.
So when they decided to do the song, me personally, I was feeling nervous and embarrassed for him, like I said.
Yeah.
Because it's a bunch of older ladies. I don't know.
I know.
I can't imagine Justin watching that with me.
Right.
They're all like our ages.
Right.
So
No.
I get it. Now, Karen, we have a special treat because you're going to tell us how to boot buy.
Oh, boot buy. All right. So it only goes in boots, but there is a process. They have to measure your feet. They when you slip on the boot, you need special socks.
Okay.
Oh.
I don't know why, and then they have to mold it. It's a crazy thing.
They mold the boot?
Well, because they're leather. It takes a good while to. They don't mold it, but it molds to your foot. It has to be. It's crazy.
Okay.
It's a process, and they're not cheap.
No, they didn't sound it. I think the pair Teresa was looking at was $200.
Yeah, mine. We bought some down in Tombstone, and they were like $250.
Wow.
Brian's were like $3 something.
All right. So, do you get enough wear out of them? You feel like to justify the purchase?
All right, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I've worn my boots maybe once.
Okay.
I've had him
Okay.
for 6 years now, 7 years.
Okay.
So what you're saying is we need to have a country theme.
Party. Yep.
Just so I can wear them.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And then my second question is, you said you had to have special socks to wear them. Do you have to wear
Yes.
them all the time? Every time you wear the boots?
You're supposed to.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're the thicker material. I don't know if you've downhill skied.
No.
The socks that are thicker for your. Okay. Well, they're thick,
Okay.
and I don't know why, but so maybe you don't get rubbing.
Right.
Right,
calluses,
because of the
yeah.
material.
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe.
Right. Okay.
They're not the most comfortable
Yeah.
until you wear them in, I suppose.
I also
Yeah.
feel like, wouldn't they, if they're leather, like,
Well, that's why I think they mold to
Right.
your feet.
Like,
You get sweaty feet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With
I would be concerned.
Yeah, like, I mean, I don't know. It's not like you're wearing them, in here in the winter.
Right.
So.
Think about it. A lot of men and women wear them all the time.
True.
You're right.
So,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Oh.
Did we hit our list, Meg, over there, Meg?
Yes, we did.
All right. Perfect.
Okay, so we're in breakout room 3. We're talking about the dinner and the dancing. We're going to start with apologizing and then go to at the house and then our final dinner thoughts. So the apologizing. Teresa doesn't feel she needs to apologize at all to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, in my opinion, not true.
Yeah, and then she said
Right.
that Marge actually owes her the apology, which was
That's insane.
yeah.
I would love
Twisted.
to know where in her world she I really would love to know her reality.
Mhm.
Because I feel like, don't we all watch the same thing?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We hear what she says. We see her aggressive, violent, for lack of a better word, reaction. How are we not in her world? I don't get that.
Even if she doesn't think she's wrong, she can still apologize for her reactions to
Disgraceful.
things.
Yeah,
To how she reacts.
But I mean, not to jump ahead here, but in the idea of apologizing, you can't say an apology. You can't say, "I'm sorry that someone provoked me," and expect that to be an apology.
No,
Right.
not at all.
When you use those words, you deflect the blame.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you
So,
absolutely
is
do.
there an apology? I'm not sure.
Has she ever apologized then in life?
I don't.
No.
I mean,
I mean, it's been what, 12 seasons?
Yeah.
well, I mean, even last year for all the Jackie's been through, it's like
Mhm.
I don't remember her saying, "I'm sorry," legitimately for saying this and doing
No.
this. It's always if you took it that way.
Right.
I
Right.
didn't do what you said. I was being a girl's girl. I'm sorry. If being a girl's girl is not saying something on camera that's a rumor.
Right.
You know what? We need to go back and look at the evolution of
Yeah, I
Teresa.
know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
From season 1 till now.
She was. I mean, she's very much the same hothead.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh,
You know?
yes.
Yes.
So
And if I'm
It'd be
remembering,
interesting.
if she said any sort of apology about the Jackie situation, it was just to Evan, right?
yeah.
That was
Yeah.
another
And
interesting
it's always
dynamic.
the
Right.
men.
I
Yeah.
was just gonna say what 2 episodes ago when she
Ah,
apologized
yes.
to Tiki.
Yes. Yes.
But one
And
time
so
when
talking
she
to
Tracy.
Tracy. Yep.
Okay, something's a little
Yeah.
strange there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
know.
And then Melissa and Joe and their opinion on the apology,
Yeah.
kind of, well, at least she gave one. A few years ago, we wouldn't even be in this
I know.
situation. It's unfortunate that that's the
God.
truth, but it was a crap apology, so I don't think that should
No.
go unnoticed in this situation.
Well, I have to I mean, we're all teachers, right?
Mhm.
So we see kids and they take a step forward. It's a minor step and we celebrate it.
Mhm.
They're 10 years old, 11 years old.
Right.
Mhm.
These are people in their 40s.
Who have
50s.
life lessons throughout their
like-
lives.
Right.
We're expecting, I'm sorry, if we're still making equivalency to kids as far as growth in an adult's life.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't think they should be compared. I don't think that's right either.
No.
You know?
No,
Crazy.
and for it to be so little growth in
Yes.
that area over all 12 seasons of this show.
Right, exactly. And I know we were talking too about the body shaming thing with Margaret again. And I mean, Teresa has 4 daughters.
Mm-hmm.
4 daughters.
Mm-hmm.
So how would
Yeah.
she feel? I mean, let's think about this. How aggressive she is about these, sort of girlish drama issues.
Mhm.
Think about how aggressive she'd be if somebody ever body shamed one of her daughters. And yet
Yeah.
here she is doing it to a grown adult.
Yeah.
Right. Repeatedly
Right.
in front of her daughter at the baseball game.
It's do better.
Yeah.
You know better, do
Yeah,
better.
she did in front of
Yeah.
her daughter at that game. You're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
And
kind of-
Gia kind of jumped on board.
Mm.
I felt
I
like
think so
or at
about
least-
the pants.
I was disappointed with her.
Yeah.
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 Disappointed. Okay. Then what's our next bullet over here?
At the house. Just what's happening with the house.
So we were having a little side conversation about heels and shorts.
Oh,
Karen and I said
that's like an 80s look, correct?
We were, yes. And we were also saying we love the look Meg could pull it off.
Yes. She's at that age range.
I feel like if we were, people were like, who are you trying to be?
Yeah.
What costume party are you going to?
Yeah.
You know.
I even feel a little past that age now. You know, in college I probably would have worn something like that. But
Got it.
Well, it's
I'm
kind of
very
like
accustomed to the teacher wear these days.
well, it's kind of like the cowboy boots.
Right. The big
shorts.
tall boots with the shorts.
Or the short skirts.
Yeah.
I couldn't pull that off either, hence why I probably don't wear my cowboy boots.
Well, we already talked about this. We're going to have a little get together.
We are going to need a theme party.
There we go.
Okay. What else about?
They played the song, and Teresa was a snob during the whole thing. With the, I'm glad I wasn't there. That was so bad.
Like, I mean, I hate to say this, but as a mom of 4 daughters, shouldn't you be uplifting other women? Like, it wasn't the best song. Yeah, it was kind of ridiculous, but they were making it to become a hit record. Like, this is something that was more of a collaboration, camaraderie. Mm-hmm. Like, shouldn't you say, wow, okay, you know, maybe not my cup of tea, but wow, you went and sang.
Right.
And I chose to do none of that.
Right. They should have gone, in my opinion. I think that Dolores and Teresa should have been there.
Yes, but I think Teresa was feeling like she missed out.
I don't know.
And that's why she was covering up.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
I just think she takes any opportunity to point out the fact that she's mad at Margaret. Mm-hmm. And that's her way of being like, I didn't want to go. It was so terrible. Margaret's like there. I could have never been there, you know?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's very childish behavior and responses.
Raise up.
Yeah.
I had also thought about some things about the house husbands. Which I love. They're dynamic, and I don't know if we've said this before, but like I think they're a really great friendship. Love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then also let's talk about Tiki and Tracy.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of feel like it's great to see Tiki Barber. He's an amazing athlete. Obviously, Tracy seems like she's good friends with Melissa. I don't really see their addition to the show.
Right, where they're going to go. Take our storyline.
Like other than pissing off Teresa, like I don't know what they've really done to elevate the show. I don't know what their addition has been, and in a good sense. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Well, hopefully we find that out.
Okay.
I mean, you're again.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're adding Tiki Barber.
Yeah.
Whom is a professional athlete.
Yeah.
Giants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're going to draw hopefully a new fan base, like we were talking.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a huge name. I mean, he is a huge name.
But you're right. I don't know what they're going to add.
No.
Yeah.
I don't either.
Unless Tracy, because Teresa doesn't like Tracy, so maybe that plot line comes into play. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that was to come in the future between the two of them.
Right.
Tracy did stand up to Teresa at the end of that dinner and said, like, hey, I don't like the way you're talking to my friend. So...
Right.
Yeah, maybe she's going to be like a powerhouse for the opposite side of Teresa.
Yeah.
Like
especially if she's this vocal already.
Yeah.
That could be a turn that this takes.
Could be possible.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, we will.
I hope someone speaks up.
I know. I also had thought about, too, how, I don't know, all about Louis. I did like him a little bit more in this episode as far as, like, I do think he's fitting in with the guys really well.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I do think that's a good. I think he seems like a fun-loving guy.
Mm-hmm.
My sort of hindrance with him is, he has a son with autism. Mm-hmm. He knows what that's like to live with an adult son who, is living with that.
How did I not know that?
Yeah, his 20-year-old son. Mm-hmm. And then he has a 17-year-old son. But my whole thing is like,
goodness.
If your life, because obviously that takes a lot of time and effort when you have a grown, adult child, that has some sort of issue
special
in some
needs.
way. Exactly.
Yeah, right.
I do kind of say to myself, like, how is he going to have the time to put into Teresa what she requires when you would think he would have time needed elsewhere?
Right.
And I mean,
it depends how much the mother is involved.
Well, I think the son lives with the mother.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think the 17-year-old lives with Louie and
Right.
the girls, right?
Yes,
and
and the older one lives with the ex-wife.
How did I miss this? Okay.
Well, I think it was in the last episode,
Yeah.
but my whole thing is like Teresa requires a lot.
Yes.
As admitted on
So
her
a lot
own
of
part.
time.
Right.
Yeah.
And like,
Yes.
I mean, I don't know if I, as much as I love my husband, if we were in a dinner and he threw glasses at someone,
I'd be
it's
mortified.
so quote unquote
Yeah.
friend or in my friend group, like how do you come back from that so quickly and say, oh, I still, madly in love with him? I mean, obviously I would be, but my whole thing is like, I would take weeks away from the group to have to regroup and make sure he regrouped enough to somehow be around a group again.
Right.
Not the group so often, but you know what I mean?
Yes.
Oh, I'd be mortified.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he just said, oh, I love her unconditionally. Well, yeah, I think we all love our
Yeah, of course we do.
unconditionally.
Right.
But you would still need to have like a period of time in which you had to work this out.
It's like the grieving process.
Yes.
You need some steps.
Right.
Like, okay, let's separate.
reintroduce.
Right,
Yes.
right. And you want your significant other to grow in these situations.
Right.
So it's going to take that time and work with
Right.
her, especially to already be at this heightened of a point.
I know. So I don't know. For me, it's sort of like, how much is he in this and how much is he not in this? I don't know. Or I mean, is it in it for the right reasons versus in it for, to be in the
Right.
the spotlight? I don't know.
Right. Because wasn't there a point where they had talked about that he had said he had no idea who Teresa was when he had saw her. He just waved and he thought she was this beautiful woman in New Jersey, right? Like how do you be in New Jersey and not know who Teresa is?
Yeah, especially for at the shore, which to me would be
right.
I don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we must move on to dinner thoughts.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I had thought Jen totally stirred the pot by saying after.
She always does.
Oh, you didn't think that was acceptable?
Oh, yeah. Margaret doesn't think that your apology was acceptable. Like, okay, can we just
right.
like acknowledge,
let it go
there
and
was
move on.
a quote unquote apology. She didn't like it. Do we have to be like, and she didn't like it?
Right,
Yeah,
right.
That sounds like her. Cheering
Oh,
song.
by the way, she didn't like your apology.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally pot stirring.
Agreed.
Totally pot stirring. And
Agreed.
that's the thing with Jen. I guess that's why I can't connect with her. Because although I feel bad for her this season because of what she's going with personally, truly do, I just feel like it's hard to know. I feel like with me, she takes a step forward and a step back.
Agreed.
Yes,
Every time,
absolutely.
Every time.
But I'm confused about why she is. It happened 10 years ago. The personal issue. 10 years ago. She's been on the show for what? 4 years now.
Yeah.
Why now does it come up?
Because Margaret was so sick of
the hypocrisy.
Yeah.
I get that, but I don't know.
Well, that begs the question of who was right, who was wrong. And was there more of a right than a wrong?
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean, I don't know.
But she's playing it off as it's a more personal thing with her and Bill. It really should have been a more personal thing with her and Bill back when it happened.
Right.
But now she's playing it off in the episodes like, oh, Bill and I were not doing so great anymore.
Right.
It really doesn't have a lot to do with Margaret.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So
that those problems existed in their relationship.
Yeah, because I promise you, if that had happened, it would have been dealt with. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't blame her for her choice to not deal with it then. I mean, she was pregnant.
Yes, she had young children.
And had young children. So I get that. I think,
But
she's allowed to. Well, I mean, in my mind, I'm like, she's allowed to grieve because she wasn't the cause of the problem. Yeah. So in my mind, I guess I'm more of like a whatever she needs, he's got to make up for it type of thing, as in Bill needs to make up for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess somebody did say something about however long it takes you.
Right.
In one of the episodes. I can't remember. But it's something that takes forever to get over.
But my problem with her is then why try to do this or be a part of doing this to Jackie last year?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Good point.
Like, if you know...
that's awful.
If you know
hypocrisy.
What that feels like,
right.
Why would you do that to another woman?
Right.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
I guess those are my final thoughts as far as the dinner goes.
we're looking forward to next week. It looks pretty good.
Mhm.
Absolutely. So now we got to take time to think about who needs a break and who's our rising star.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to take a minute to think about that, and we'll come right back and give you our takes.
All right. So now we're here to talk to you about today's rising star. So from this episode, I've decided that I think Tracy Barber is today's rising star.
All right.
But what are you guys thinking?
Well, what are your reasonings?
So the reason that I chose Tracy was because at the end of the episode, she's said something to Teresa, and she stood her ground on her feelings about Teresa not being in the right here in the way that she didn't like that Teresa was speaking to her friend that way. And I think that right now, more people need to be putting Teresa in her place. So I thought that that was really brave of Tracy to do that in that moment.
That's an excellent reason. And you're right. She's brand new to the cast. So to go up against like the
big
Goliath of Teresa is huge. Yeah. Okay. Good job, Becky.
So I thought that was important this episode. Yeah.
All right.
What are you thinking, Karen?
I chose Bill. Because, like I said, well, like I'm going to say, he went on a boat again with the boys, and he survived and didn't have to get carried in this time. He held his liquor well.
Huge improvement.
Better than last time.
Yes. And that's it.
All right. That makes total sense. And actually, I think he had a better time probably this time.
And he remembers. He made it to the dinner, and he took a little nap in the corner chair.
Yep.
And he survived.
His shirt was on backwards when he came in.
But he was a decor of the party.
Yes.
Right.
So there's another reason. He presented the party well.
Yes. All right. Well, I am totally out on a limb here, and I said Jackie. So it's hard because from this episode, I feel like she didn't have much going on other than being like really relentlessly, helping out Margaret, which I totally appreciate. I think the reason why I choose her is more of like a season-wide reason, which is that she's been so open, and I feel like it's so hard for anybody to talk about something they struggle with, and she's slighted and sort of gone about the issues before. And this season, I feel like she's totally taken on her eating disorder. Last episode she talked about how Teresa affected her so much with the stress and the fighting, and yet this episode she's trying to communicate with Margaret. She's trying to maneuver this dramatic sort of situation, which is a lot of stress. And I just can only imagine in her head what that does to her when it comes to mealtime. And so I guess that's why she's my rising star, because I think internally she probably struggles more than most people see, because it's an inward, not an outward struggle.
All right. Look at you two with the positivity. I
agree with your point, though, especially given the number of comments Teresa's made in the last 2 episodes about Marge's body. I'm sure that's especially
it carries over.
For Jackie
that's
to be
a good
hearing.
Point. Yeah. All right, good. All right.
All right. So where do we think we are here? Because we can make our own rising star. Which I guess, do we have to make one? This is our first podcast. Yeah. Can we have the roles here? What do you think?
I think let's pick one.
All right.
I think yours was a very good argument, Brenna.
Okay.
I'm going to have to go with yours.
Which would be
Jackie?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm agreeing.
My guy's out the back. He's out. Okay.
I'm agreeing, given Jackie's, ability to discuss it too in these most recent episodes, especially, and to have to witness this body shaming in front of her has got to be exceptionally hard for her, So I think that Jackie definitely has shown over time that she deserves a rising star.
Good job.
All right,
because everyone cares about what I'm thinking right now.
All right.
Especially Jackie.
Yes.
All right, so this goes into our
rising star.
Well, now it's going into the person who needs a break.
Oh, yes. Well, we all know.
All right. So,
all in agreement.
Yeah.
Like there's one picture on the slide.
Yeah. So we've agreed it is
Teresa.
Yeah, not even from this episode, just from the season. I don't know. I just feel like she's so aggressive. It's not a good representation of the show.
No, and her hypocrisy is just insane.
It's hard to watch now. Her behavior has been unacceptable on several accounts, and
Right. It's
I imagine being a person in that restaurant and having to watch that happen.
Right.
And that makes me like cringe, the
Right.
idea of that, you know?
Right.
and then always like at the last dinner, always blaming like Melissa, come on, Melissa, I'm gonna you better back me up. Like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
How does it become Melissa's fault?
Mm-hmm.
No, I know.
Right.
But if Melissa didn't go.
Right.
Yeah.
Melissa, you say this.
Yeah.
Like, tell her to
She-
shut
yes,
up. That
right.
was
Insane.
absurd.
Right.
I felt bad for Melissa in that.
Okay.
Yes.
scene.
Same thing. Mm-hmm.
Perfecto.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, exit ticket time. So it's our final thoughts. I guess I'll just go first. My final thought is Teresa needs a different show. She needs to be on a show with Louie, showcasing her family, her blended families, her love bubble. I think she needs to be on a new show. I think her times on Housewife, I mean, I don't know who she gets along with anymore. I don't know that people respect the drama anymore. I think it's very heavy and I think it's hard to watch. And I think it's too much. I don't know that they want to go in a direction of aggressive behavior year after year after year. So my final thought is keep her on Bravo, maybe in a different capacity.
I think it's a great compromise, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So my final thoughts are, first of all, Meg, awesome technology.
Thank
we
you,
couldn't have
Meg!
gotten this done
Thank
without
you.
you. Use of technology.
Yes,
You know how to
we would.
go through all of this.
Thank you. It's been fun.
Housewives, final thought. Yes, I agree with you. But I'm also thinking, if they get rid of Teresa, where does it go?
Yeah.
And actually, the whole franchise of Bravo Housewives, I'm hoping it continues.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Shared a lot of ideas earlier.
Yeah.
I'm a chatty person.
Yeah. I think I'm feeling right now like I would just love to see some character development from Teresa, and I don't know that she's going to get there. I feel like
This is who she is.
yeah, she's been
this way.
right, and I feel like it's almost
good
the
TV.
nastiest it's ever been from her, having just binge watched all 12 seasons of this in the last 4 or 5 months now.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not surprised that we're here, but I would just love to see that out of her coming up.
Perfect.
Move forward.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh, I'm so excited about next week.
Me
Yeah.
too! All right,
Yay.
please let us know your
Here.
feedback. And Meg has a shout out.
Yes, a special shout out to Slides Mania
Thank
for
you,
the
Slides
slideshow.
Mania.
Yes.
Yay.
And thank you guys for listening to this. We really we can't wait to hear what you think about it.
And please subscribe.
That's
Oh,
right.
well-
Like, subscribe, comment, the whole show.
All right, until next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Three teachers.